Good, happy Sunday morning, January 5th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to for this Sunday morning, so let's begin. First up, Patriots fall to Titans, leaving uncertain future for Tom Brady. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
Having a primary care provider means having an advocate for preventative care and an ally in your lifelong health journey.
Learn more at onehealthyboston.com. Your wellness, our experts.
This is SportsCenter 5 1 Minute Drill, sponsored by Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram 24.
Tom Brady has made over $200 million in his NFL career, but still gets a lot of credit for taking less money. But he'll be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, and word is this time he wants to get paid. Sorry, Tom, that cashier's window has closed. When you were the best quarterback in the game, you could have and maybe even should have asked to hear the Brinks truck backing up. Now that you're no longer the best quarterback in the game, why would you expect to get paid the most? The Business Insider website estimated Brady may have sacrificed $60 million by not demanding contracts equal to the highest paid quarterbacks during his career. Brady himself explained why to intrepid journalist Jimmy Kimmel last May, saying, "You can only spend so much, and the more that one guy gets is less for others, and from a competitive advantage standpoint, I like to get a lot of good players around me." Well, this year, Brady's cap hit was $27 million, the highest in his career, and he hasn't had a lot of good players around him. And I don't think it's wise for an NFL team to pay the most for somebody who is now slightly above average. Okay.
Oh.
We'll be right back.
That was good. That was good, bud.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. First, robotics teams up with Disney Lucasfilm for 2020 season. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Everyone uses their phone differently. That's why Xfinity Mobile lets you auto-connect to millions of secure Wi-Fi hotspots and the best LTE everywhere else. It's a different kind of wireless network designed to save you money. That's simple, easy, awesome. Call, visit, or go to xfinitymobile.com.
A star-studded surprise as R2-D2 of Star Wars fame enters the arena for the unveiling of the first robotics Infinite Recharge game field. The Manchester event was broadcast live to nearly 100,000 high school students in over 30 countries. For the first time, First has a partner, Disney and Lucasfilm. Star Wars Force for Change is the season sponsor for First Rise, the Force is building.
The Imagineers have actually been involved with First for over 20 years now, so we're really excited that we were able to make our collaboration official this year.
The idea that we are now combining this iconic world of science fiction with the real world of science and technology, I hope will be a way to expand the reach of First around the country and around the world.
This event sets the stage for the 2020 season as close to 4,000 teams worldwide will now design their robots to compete.
They've learned how to solve problems. They've learned critical thinking. They learned how to work together. And those are the skills that they will bring to solve the biggest challenges in the world going forward.
A special tribute for the late Dr. Woody Flowers, who died this past fall. He collaborated with founder Dean Kamen to develop the first robotics competition. Kamen says Woody's ideas, namely the term gracious professionalism, will live on forever.
I think we've created something that will not go away with the loss of any one body, any one person. We're bigger than that.
In Manchester, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Anti-war protests gather in Manchester in wake of U.S. strike killing Iran commander. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Trying hard to get a better signal? Enjoy clear cell phone talking with signalboosters.com.
And anti-war protests are happening around the country today, including one in Manchester. A small group gathered at Veterans Park holding signs calling for peace. Several took turns speaking out against the U.S. drone strike. They say they're one of more than 70 similar demonstrations happening in cities nationwide.
And so we're here to condemn the occupation. We're here to condemn those extrajudicial killings. We're here to call for the end of all U.S. wars and occupation and really try to bring all of our troops home.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Presidential hopefuls weigh in on U.S. airstrike while on New Hampshire campaign trail. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
We made USAA insurance for veterans like Martin. When a hailstorm hit, he needed his insurance to get it done right away. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
That's right. We're a little more than a month away from the first in the nation primary. Plenty of topics discussed on the campaign trail, but a lot of candidates really focusing this weekend on Iran. Pete Buttigieg arriving in Wolfboro Saturday night, his third campaign stop of the day.
Friends, I believe, with your help, that we are on the cusp of making history.
The Democratic presidential candidate discussed familiar topics of climate change, affordable housing, and the economy, but his speech also had a focus on recent developments in the Middle East.
U.S. credibility is not exactly at its highest. So even though it's not at all difficult for me to believe that Qasem Soleimani was in the middle of planning something nefarious, on any given day he usually was, we are going to have trouble, I think, rallying the world around our perspective.
And his fellow veteran and current presidential competitor, Tulsi Gabbard, also voiced her opinions about the U.S. airstrike in Iraq during a campaign stop in Grantham.
It was a clear act of war taken without congressional authorization.
Gabbard adding the last thing the U.S. needs is to go to war with Iran.
The cost will not be confined to within the boundaries of Iran. This will be a regional war that will take American lives, that will cost us as taxpayers trillions more dollars.
While canvassing for his campaign in Manchester, Deval Patrick also weighed in.
I am deeply concerned about what this may mean, and even more concerned that our leadership probably hasn't thought about what it may mean.
And Democratic candidate Michael Bennet was also in the Granite State. He had two stops, one in Dover and one in Concord. Reporting in Wolfboro, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your 2020 New Hampshire candidate tracker for today, January 5th, 2020. And here is a look at those candidates in New Hampshire today. The first candidate we're talking about, Michael Bennett, has one event today in New Hampshire, attending College Conversation 2020 at the Doubletree by Hilton in Manchester, New Hampshire at 7:30 p.m. Pete Buttigieg has two events today in New Hampshire. His first event, Town Hall at Franklin High School in Franklin, New Hampshire at 9:45 a.m. And his second event, Town Hall at Southern New Hampshire University in Manchester, New Hampshire at 1 p.m. And also in New Hampshire today, Deval Patrick. He also has two events today in New Hampshire. His first event, House Party in Concord, New Hampshire at 11:30 a.m. And his second event, a house party in Holderness, New Hampshire at 3 p.m. Those are all the candidates in New Hampshire today. Trump defends Iran airstrike as step toward preventing war. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
President Trump is defending the airstrike as preventing a possible war, but Democratic lawmakers are lashing out at the administration for not consulting Congress or getting authorization. ABC's David Wright is in West Palm Beach, where the president has been spending the holidays. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Whit. The president claims this drone strike was a defensive measure thwarting a major planned attack, but the administration's offered no proof of that. With Iran now threatening vengeance, the big question is, did this ease tensions or escalate them? Addressing evangelical Christians at an event in Miami Friday night, President Trump insisted his decision to take out Iran's top military commander saved American lives.
He was planning a very major attack, and we got him.
The administration offered no proof of any planned attack. On Fox, the Secretary of State echoed the president, but gave no further details.
There was an attack that was imminent that could have killed dozens or hundreds of Americans.
Democratic members of Congress accused Trump of kicking a hornet's nest and say he failed to consult Congress before doing so.
The question we have to be asking ourselves today is whether Qasem Soleimani is more dangerous to the United States alive or dead as a martyr.
The president's critics acknowledge Soleimani had plenty of blood on his hands, but say the U.S. attack in a drone strike at Baghdad International Airport was reckless, dramatically escalating America's long-simmering conflict with Iran. President Trump rejects that.
We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war.
Killing bin Laden didn't stop Al-Qaeda. Killing al-Baghdadi didn't stop ISIS. And killing Soleimani is not going to stop the IRGC Quds Force. It is significant. They will take losses. This is a major, major blow to the Iranian intelligence and security services.
Up until now, the administration has talked tough on Iran, but generally shied away from taking actions that might escalate violent conflict. That changed with this attack. Now, experts in the region say Iran's vengeance is not a matter of if, but when. Eva?
All right, David Wright for us.
Hi. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Bye, everyone.